This video might be coming out a little bit late compared to the news, but I just saw this last night. I didn't get the opportunity to record a video at the time. But Tyler Davis, defensive tackle for Clemson, is going to return for another go. He just finished up his third year with Clemson. He was banged up, he's been injured. He's not been regularly available the past 2 years. So injuries have played a role in him kind of deciding to come back and hopefully strengthen his draft stock. Because this is a dude who I firmly believe is worth a top, I'll say 70 selection when healthy. Unfortunately, like I said, has not been healthy the past 2 years. Just around 500 snaps played in the last 2 years, which for comparison would be less than what he played in his freshman year alone. And as a freshman, I believe he was second team all ACC, so we know he has the potential to be one of the best defensive linemen in the ACC. And Clemson really has benefited quite a bit from these players returning this year. They've gotten a lot of talent back along the defensive front that they could have really lost to the NFL draft, which is what I was worried about, because I thought that we were going to walk into a situation this coming year where we're going to lose both Andrew Booth Jr. and Mario Goodrich, which we are, but then also have the potential to lose even more than that by guys going to the draft and putting Wes Goodwin in a situation where he has to deal with a bunch of guys who are beginning to just take over starting roles. Luckily, we don't have to do that. Obviously, losing Brent Venables is big. I think Wes Goodwin will still be a very good defensive coordinator, but I think having this continuity, especially on the defensive line, where Clemson has been historically great the past decade or so, maybe not even that, maybe the past 6 or 7 years, but having that continuity on the defensive line will really help, I think, Wes out and help him transition into the job and make life a lot easier for him. Now, Tyler Davis, about 6'2", 300 pounds, around that area, is just a massive dude. I think he's a former four-star recruit, freshman year, 31 pressures, and I think 5.5 sacks, which for a defensive tackle is really good. I don't think he's like a pure pass rushing defensive tackle. He's not that kind of guy, but he's a good mixture of being able to stop the run, being able to anchor the middle, and also being able to get pressure on the quarterback. And just to run down our defensive line now, just because we've gotten a general idea of who's coming back. We have Tyler Davis in the middle, flanked by Bryan Bresee, 5-star. Missed a lot this past season, unfortunately. Only played about 150 snaps, but looked incredible as a freshman. He had 430 snaps played, 26 pressures. Looked very, very good. And there's a potential that he, as a 6'5", former 5-star, I think former top 10 recruit in the country, that he's going to go out and be an all-ACC selection this year, possibly alongside Tyler Davis. And our starting edges are looking like Xavier Thomas, who's coming back yet again for one more go, come back for a 5th season with Clemson. He obviously missed quite a bit of 2020. Been a little bit disappointing overall, but looks like he's going to be a very, very helpful player for us because he had 40 pressures this past year, and the sack totals haven't been there, but he's still one of the better edge rushers in the ACC. He's going to be flanked by Myles Murphy, the excellent junior. Him and Bryan Bresee were huge gifts in the same recruiting class for Clemson, but Murphy was phenomenal this past year and also very good as a freshman. So he's had back-to-back productive seasons, 42 pressures this past year. I think he led the team in sacks. So having Murphy come back, because we know he's coming back, he's going to be a junior, a rising junior, but having him, Thomas, on the outside, so we have such a strong interior presence, is absolutely massive. Then we do get KJ Henry back as well, probably our best rotational edge rusher from this past year. Had 23 pressures, which was a career high. Being able to get him back and have this dominant group of 5 guys that you're primarily going to see used is something special, especially because it gives you a chance to have Wes Goodwin look good for a year, because you're going to have such a dominant defensive front. You're going to have so many sacks, hopefully, and you're hopefully going to shut down the run. You'll put Wes Goodwin in a good situation to pitch his defense to recruits, and also put Clemson in a good situation to pitch their defense as still holding up the Brent Venables principles and still playing at such a high level, hopefully at the level of the top 10 defense in the nation. So again, getting back Tyler Davis really solidifies what's going to be one of the best defensive line groups in the country next year. And I am so happy to see this group come back for one more go and see what Clemson can do with them next year.